All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today is the 30th of November 2020. Let's go ahead and if somebody could just give me a yes and let me know that you can see my screen and hear me okay. Just a quick mic check, please. All right, awesome. All right. All right, so let's go ahead. I love Mondays. The reason why I love Mondays is because we've already done so much work over the weekend, and now I'm able to just kind of sit back, relax, and just monitor. You guys can see in the background, you can see I have my swing trades or my trade plans that I've already pushed out to you over the weekend. Those are in the background. I'll be viewing those. Okay. And if those signal and alert, I'll be taking those. On open this morning, what I'm looking for is probably 30 minutes to an hour before I actually do anything. Now, I say that and it's sort of a running joke because I could be in a trade within the first 5 minutes. So I am open to criticism. All right. So not all the time do I actually wait. Some of the things that we'll be looking over today. Again, let me go ahead and pull up our trade plans really quick. And we'll just kind of talk over that, and then we'll get into the ES futures as well. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the futures at the moment. ES came into the red box last night. You can see that it literally came in right to the tick. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you. You can see right here. All right, and so this area was an area of sellers, and it's been like that for quite some time. So we're looking at resistance in this red box and support down here at the green box. Now, I cannot make this up. I give you this chart here for the last several weeks. We also identified this candle here where I wrote buyers. So if you were shorting here for some reason, you probably did not see this big blue arrow and or buyers section. And I did send this out for everybody to see. I don't think anybody was short underneath here. Last night I took a couple trades. I took some ES options to the downside, made about 40% on those. I did get rid of them before I went to bed. And then I also actually went long on the open and made a few points on the MES. Now, as far as anything else, we're going to go ahead and talk about that. I want you to notice a couple things here. These are your trendy edges now. Notice that they are pretty much lined up with supply and or buying section here. All right, so again, these yellow lines, please pay attention to those. The upper lines are going to be resistance until they're not, and the lines to the downside are going to be support. Now I'm going to go ahead and move and change this blueprint with you. If you could, please make sure your mics are muted. Let's go ahead and just mute everybody. There we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and change these lines for now because they are changing drastically far as support and resistance. So right here underneath the line in the sand, which is 3626 and a half, we do have a level here at 3623 and a quarter. Okay, so if price were to pull back, I would expect some buyers to come in here. Now listen up very closely. I don't have to take it just because it touches here. If for some reason the market starts to pull, okay, I'm a buyer when we reclaim these levels. It needs to stay above this line in the sand, which is the blue line. Notice that on the 4 hour, we are creating what's called an inside and up, and we are above the 9 EMA. Overall trend though on this 4 hour is lower highs, okay, and higher lows. We have a sideways trend, okay, sideways trend. As far as levels are concerned, it's all noise between this high of 3648.95 and down here at this pivot low. So if you could, go ahead and create an alert. Okay, we're going to do an at or above right around that red box. And then down here on the low, going ahead and create an alert at or below. Okay, there we go. Oops, let's go right here. I might have went to, let's go ahead and create alert. Single, at or below, right there. All right, so everything between here, really, at the end of the day, as far as swing positions are concerned for me, all of this is noise, okay? If we start to build value into this red box and we can hold this on a day close, things are going to start to look a lot better, Okay, right now with the sideways trend, we are speculating. There's a couple things I can do over on the SPY side, and I'm going to show you that here in a few minutes. Okay, but for now, all this is noise in here. Resistance points 36.43 and a half, 36.48.90. Just call it 36.49, and then support levels 36.26 and a half, 36.23. If we break down from there, possible retrace into last night's session low. Yes, we will be trading either ES or MES, depending on the open on the PMZ, and I'll get us over to a 5-minute chart once we come to open. Okay, about 24 more minutes. Let's go ahead and look at a couple trades that we have lined up. DKNG, okay, this is our blueprint for today. So far as Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, I'm just going to go over a few trades and then I'm going to jump offline here. If you like the content, just give us a like and retweet, please. And check us out at TrendyTrading.co. We do have an awesome special going on right now that ends at the end of today's business hours. Okay. All right, so here is DKNG or DraftKings. You can see the bounce play I have in here is around this green box. Basically, just set it up an alert at or below around 51. If for some reason we get a pullback in there, this is a play for a bounce. And as of right now, this is what we call ACDC setup. All right. And what I'm looking for today, make this really simple, 52.14 holds. I'm looking for a move into 55.07. As far as right now is concerned, if we were to take this pre-market, again, I want to stay over these green arrows. As long as price stays over the green arrows, I'm trading into the 55 level. We hold 55.07, then you can see we can move up into the 60 range, but it's important that you understand that the ATR on this once we open is not that big. All right, so don't shoot for the stars. Take this one level at a time. So above 55.07, stops come up and continue to trade this probably in dollar increments. Okay, that's DKNG. And again, I will coach if I take this trade. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Before I move on though, very important, 9 EMA, I'm looking at a 4-hour chart. Okay, this 9 EMA is important. We're coming off a double inside and up. It looks nice and supported. Again, looking for 55. And let's go ahead and take a look at, there were a couple runners here. So this is GRWG. I want to go ahead and take a look at that as well. I pushed that out last night, really late. But nonetheless, here we are. All right, so 33.25 needs to hold. If for some reason we have a pullback on open, I like to draw this out so you can understand what I'm looking at. If for some reason we have a pullback, the first thing I'm be paying attention to is this 9 EMA, which is right here. Notice that this green line is identifying a potential area for a bounce on this bigger candle and this combination of candles here showing us that buyers are lined up here. Okay, so once again, if we come into 35, 33 or so, that's around the 9 EMA, look to see if we're supported. Basically, this 9 EMA is just keeping the trend. You should be able to notice that right here. Most importantly, I'm in this trade as long as candles are not closing underneath the 9 EMA. Now, when I say that, that means I have to wait for 4 hours. If I change it to a 2-hour, I need to wait for 2 hours. That's me. Okay. Trend is holding. Again, looking for 38.26 and 41.28. We do have notes on this chart. So if you want to go back and check out those notes, they are on here and they are in the room. Okay. All right. So next thing I want to look at, I'm going to check out Amazon. Okay. Amazon's doing okay. The Qs are doing all right. We're going to go over those ETFs here in a second. Let's go ahead and go over to the 2-hour. All right. So as of right now, price is at 32.04 by 32.06. We are above that 32.02 level. Last week, it was all about I said the Bezos line, 3110. I've had that there for several weeks. Once it went a bit above there, it was a buy. I ended up selling my Amazon calls before the close, I think, or in the morning on Friday. And so that was a nice little gainer there. As far as today is concerned, we need to stay above the D cell. Okay, these red arrows here. Let me go ahead and open that up for you. Okay. As long as we can hold above the D cell today, this looks promising. We do need to take out these previous session highs at 32.20. It's also a double wick here. Let me go ahead and draw that for you so you can see. Nice little U shape right here, a pullback, and this is what I would call like an intercup and handle, and then looking for my target there. Okay, so again, needs to hold 3202. Can hold this and take out the highs, looking for 3233, 3257, and up here around 3313. That is Amazon. All right. Now, far as our other trades here, let me look at one thing before we move on. All right, ES starting to move a little bit here. My alerts are going off. Let's go ahead and take a look at, give me 1 second. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at our Tesla. All right, so we're also in Tesla. Here we go. So we're trading at 603. I'm going to keep this pretty simple. I've coached this all the way up from the edges and so forth, moving up over the last 2 weeks. We've literally made money on all of this. We're looking for 607.19 here on open. I would expect it to reject just a tad. All right. And then after it rejects, look for it to take over 607.19 and possibly we see 625 to 630. Okay. 625 to 630. Is there anything else you guys would like to take a look at? I have several trades I've already sent out to you. Don't forget that all of our ETF trades on the broad market analysis video that I send out every weekend is actionable as well. So if we come into SPY, let's keep this very simple. We're in the neutral. We break 364.27, looking for a long into 366.5. As of right now, your support is at or around this 362 level. I'm looking for 364.27 and above that 366.54. Okay, let me show you really quick on the Qs. All right, so here's QQQ. This has already come out of the neutral this morning. Very important to look left and notice that we have topping wicks coming around this area. This is resistance for now. All right, so on a 4H candle or a 2H, up to you, depending on your time frame. Notice that we are supported by the 4H9 EMA. Notice topping wicks at this resistance area. For right now, support is at or around 298, resistance at 300.2. If we could break 300.2, I would expect us to move into or around the top of last week or right here around 11.6 high. Okay, so a little bit longer than a week. Sorry about that. So over here at 11.6. Okay. Pedro, I just went over DKNG. Let's go ahead and move on. Somebody's looking at BABA. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So BABA's pushed back down here. This is interesting. I had a phone call last night. We shared some screen time and went over BABA. We pushed up into these levels here, looking for 288. It's pulled back to what was resistance is now, it's not support. I like to see 266 hold. Just like the ES chart, let me go ahead and zoom in here so you can see this candle right here. See how it does not look like the other candles. Does everybody see that? Let me pull this over really quick, and so you can take a little bit better look here. Okay, this candle, which candle is not like the others? See how big this candle is? Everybody see that right there? This guy. All right, I would expect some support there. All right, most likely driving price down into this range at or around 266 by 263. This is the probably most important level. I would expect a bounce around this area in here. Okay, resistance is going to be from this gap down 276. So your range right now, again, 263 by 276. All right. All right, let's go ahead and look at BB, BlackBerry. I'm gonna need to look at this on a 4 hour. It's trending. I would just be watching the 9 EMA on this, John. All right, but when it comes to this name, I'm thinking bigger picture here. Okay, up and to the left, what are we trading at? 611. I'd expect resistance right in here at 657. All right, bigger time frame. Listen to me really quick, okay? Bigger time frame, I mean, you're not risking a lot here. I like the weekly 9 EMA that is in this edge combo. Okay, so really at the end of the day, 550 by 5 needs to hold. Okay, I'm looking longer term, it would be right in here to 769 and then 970. Okay, longer term, so 6 to 9 months is what I'm talking about here. Or you can say 60 to 90 days at the monies, as long as this area holds. Looking for it to move right into here at around 755, go sideways for a bit, possible move into 970. All right, Apple 2 month time frame. All right. So Apple is very interesting, right? It's just kind of been going sideways. And you can see here, if I go into the monthly, let's go ahead and try to make this a little bit cleaner. I have quite a few notes on here that we've looked at over the last several weeks. Okay. All right. So far on the monthly, this is actually setting up very nicely. You guys see this? Inside candle, rounding bottom. Very pretty, actually. See this rounding bottom? Okay. Inside candle, possible inside and up. Nice cup formation, and then a pull, and then boom. Probably just enough time to put us into earnings. Okay, so that's the bigger picture. 2 month period. I'm looking at this inside. We close this candle this week, folks, as in today. Okay, most likely this is going to remain an inside candle. Very important to understand that. If I think it's going to remain an inside candle, then that means at the end of today, it cannot go higher than 117.65, I believe it is, somewhere in there. All right, so it's always interesting. So I wouldn't expect too much out of Apple if I wanted to remain an inside candle. Okay, that keeps me from wanting to take the trade today. All right, all right, let's go ahead and look at Piton. All right, again, check this out. So Piton on a monthly candle, right? Showing you these monthlies are really important because a lot of these trades have just kind of went sideways or pulled back. This also is an inside candle at the moment, all right? So it needs to stay within the body of this candle. That means as far as today as Piton goes, I don't want to see it over 110.26, okay? So right in this area. And thanks for that update, J-Rod. Appreciate it. All right, so this is the bigger picture here on Piton. So if I were you, I'd identify the top of this monthly candle and create alert at or above there. All right, that would be the potential for today. It's at 109. You might see a buck out of it, a buck and a quarter or something like that. But I would expect it to pull back into an inside candle. Remember, the inside candle is very powerful. And quite frankly, going into December, if you really like Piton, who doesn't like an inside and up, right? Matter of fact, I need to jump on my piton. It's been getting cold, man. Ever since Thanksgiving. So it's been a while. Time to get in there. All right, let's look at it from a weekly standpoint on piton. You can't get better than this. Check it out. Move back into the edge. It held very beautiful. Inside weak could be an inside and up. The ACDC, it's not there yet. Okay, ACDC is not there yet. Needs to get above the D cell. I would set an alert there as well. So if we close inside today, thumbs up for that. Tomorrow, we get over 114.75. I'd be looking for 125 by 135. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and look at CRM. All right. So CRM Salesforce 247.63 closed on Friday. Looking at 245. Okay, sitting at 245. Check this out, folks. Again, right here on the screen, trendy edge. If it's above, look for it to be resistance. If it's below, look for it to be support. I can't make this any clearer. Support, resistance, okay? Just kind of a sideways trade. If you notice, we have lower highs from the trendy edge. So far, that is not bullish. This is a simple trade for me. Create an alert up here. I really don't want to be in a trade like this until it can get above this level, right? 266 for right now. So this is literally, this is a reverse, matter of fact, I apologize. This is a reverse ACDC right here, okay? Reverse ACDC, meaning if it cannot hold this decel, I'd be looking for price to come near 240 all the way back down to 233, okay? Kind of hands off for this consolidation. You could see that it's just sideways. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Omer, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and look at Beyond. And we got about 9 minutes left. Beyond, absolutely stunning because I brought this up when they pulled back and said it was a time to be buying, buying the dip and so forth. And you could see that as it pushes up here, very important levels. It's at 141, just down about a buck. Notice that the 9 EMA is confluent, Omer, to the trendy edge. I would expect this to be resistance, and you can see it came pretty close to that. We were high on the curve. That means you need to be thinking about trimming or getting out of a long position, right? And then you also know at the end of today, we will have new edges and so forth. Okay, so for right now, again, I think everything's off because the monthly candle needs to close. And in most cases, the monthly candles are inside candles for right now, which means we could be setting up for a very nice December. Let's go here on the day. Let's check it out from a 4-hour perspective. Okay, these were my levels I gave you guys all the way back here from this inside and up. All right, so we already hit the 137. My next target was the 147. It got close at 146 and a quarter, so you can't complain. Today, biggest thing, I'd be watching a 4H, man. See if the 4H can hold over the 9 EMA, and I'd at least give it 30 minutes to an hour on open. I was going to talk about that here shortly. Just because it's Monday, we do have quite a few things going on as far as Market Watch is concerned. If you use Thinkorswim, go over to your Market Watch tab. I went ahead and copied it and put it in here for you guys for the broad market analysis. And that way you can see what's on for econ data, okay, economy data. All right. All right, we have quite a few things I'm gonna be watching this morning. Um, so anybody that's new here, you're going to have new edges. So anyone that has the trendy scripts, and that's quite a few of you, just as a reminder, you will be getting new edges tonight. So please pay attention to those. In a lot of cases, the market's gone sideways. So you might see that there's not much of a change, but there will be slight changes. So just pay attention to that. Kind of hands off today. Want to be patient on open for about 30 minutes to an hour. Remember, we talked specifically about, sorry, I'm going to sit down for a second. We talked specifically about the skew, the P call, the fear and greed, and it really is showing that you need to be somewhat cautious. It doesn't mean the market has to you know, it pull back super hard. It could be literally four or five, handles $4 or $5 on the SPY or something like that. But again, they are very elevated. Today, I want to wait about 30 minutes to an hour before I do anything. If I don't, I want all of you to know that I'm actually just starting positions. Okay. And also, I took some of your requests yesterday during our workshop. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we are looking into some of the comments a couple of you guys had made around alerts, which is awesome. We'll see if we could do that for you, just to be even more clear. I don't know how much more transparent can we get, right? Um, but we'll try to make it even easier for you. So it's cold today. Looking outside, man, the wind's like pushing. The water looks cold. Um, I hope after yesterday's session, I went ahead and put that link up as well, everyone. I put that link up from yesterday's uh, workshop. So if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and take a look at that when you have time. GME getting squeezed. Let's see. Yeah, nice. Yep. So that's one of the stocks that I have on for our trade plans. Sorry, I just was thinking about ATVI. All right, sitting at 78.41. I really like to look at this as well. All right. So right over here, you can see we're above the decel as far as today is concerned. Just want to check it out on the weekly really quick. This is what my chart looks like, and those are my notes. Okay. And to me, it looks like a big cup and handle forming. And it's an ACDC. I really like what I'm seeing here. As far as potential goes, we could see 82 this week. All right. Yeah, I can definitely look at Netflix. There's a lot of things I want to look at. It feels like one of those mornings where it's going to be really important to focus on what you plan for. It should always be like that, but today specifically, there's a lot of things moving. And so we just want to be mindful of that. Now, Netflix has been stuck in this range, right? When you agree with me, Shamar, I mean, it's look at it. You know, this is by far, if we can get above that 9 EMA, we can have a big breakout. Now, the market's not fair, right? The market's not fair. So typically what will happen is all these technical traders, whether you're using an 8 or 10 or 9 EMA, you're probably underneath that on the weekly, right? And so what they'll do is gap it up over it, and then you find yourself chasing a gap. Then they pull it back on you. You get scared out of it. It stays above the 9 and then continues to move. So please keep a bigger picture on Netflix. If at right now you want to trade Netflix to the upside, it's really important that it can get over that 9 EMA. You can see that green line as resistance. Okay. So when I say that, it's okay to be in a position and be wrong, but you don't want to be fully allocated at a point where you're underneath that resistance. That's just my opinion. So this would be a great idea for a starter position as long as that 483, 484 can hold smaller size. And if you get to wake up on a gap up, you can decide after you gap up if you want to stay in the trade. Let's go ahead and take a look at oil really quick. Money trees, I think that's important. I love oil. I actually really like trading oil. Um, it's one of, I feel like all charts are really technical, but it's getting close, right? It's close to the YE. You brought that up. You can see here that the Trinity Edge was held. I believe we got a member that likes to trade futures in here. So another great example. He's asking about currency and cattle yesterday. This is a great example of oil. We want to be looking long for a swing play off of the pink edge here on a reclaim. And you can see it moved very nicely up into the edge, and now we're moving to the higher time frame edge. So the bigger picture here on oil is going to be that lower level, 46, okay, 46.80. That's where I'd expect price to push up into, and then we may drop from there. It's a little extended. It's exactly 4 weeks up here. We could be going inside this week after a quick push into that YE. Okay. And if you want, we really go into ACDC UB on the video that I posted, okay, under trendy updates. We did a whole entire session yesterday on all these setups. Okay. All right, so we're going to get ready here. We got 1 minute. Let's go ahead and break open the ES and let's check out this PMZ. We're going to bring it into a 5 minute, okay, just to see if they can bid price over the pre-market zone. Okay, and the pre-market zone is going to be a nice little box on my screen. If we could get there, there it is. So this is what we call, well, that's resistance for right now. So we're below. Remember, we want this line in the sand to work. I would expect if we can hold this, we'll push up into this box here and reject. Okay, it doesn't mean for reject for the day. Now this is a really cool methodology that I put together that I back tested over and over, and it's really neat. All right, so for you guys out there, thanks for checking us out this morning. I need to focus. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on Twitter. Overall sentiment for the week is very important for me. I'm extremely bullish though, but with a mid to high possibility of a pullback. Okay, how big the pullback is, I have no idea. I base this on supply and demand, while also looking at the skew and the P call and fear and greed, placing all that together with the bonds and gold, okay, and just kind of coming up with some really good analysis. And that's what I'm looking for. Now, you could say last night was the pullback. We don't know yet, but as far as right now, it's imperative if the bulls want to keep this going for this morning, trying to gain some traction back from this low here at that buyer section, that we take out this PMZ, this box up here. Very important. Okay. As of right now, not really doing that. You guys have a great day. Good luck to you.